APC. Nigeria, say Buhari. Nigeria, say Buhari. Delta State, say Great Ogboru. Nigeria, say Buhari. Delta State, Great Ogboru. Thank you very much. Mr. President, I was trying hard to jump high to reflect my actual height today. Because, Mr. President, in 2015, I was here at about 5 p.m. and this stadium was maybe 1/10 of what I have seen today. And I think we must give thanks to God for your life, for what He has used you to do, for the renewal of hope, and for answering the cries of the good people of the South in general and Delta State in particular. Mr. President, I was very proud when I had the privilege of sitting next to you in the palace of the Olu of Warri, and he recorded his visit to Mr. President. I record the shopping list he presented to you, and very unlike a political leader, everything you promised them, you have done. That is about integrity, that is about character, that is about symbolizing the best in a human being. And I think you need to move back. People can see me because I'm not so privileged to be so tall, yes. Can you see me now? Thank you very much. I am not going to enumerate all of the things that have been done. But Mr. President, this state is the economic heart of Nigeria. Delta State is not only the big heart, it is the big economic heart of Nigeria. Mr. President, I was proud to hear the Olu of Warri acknowledging that although Delta for 90 years now have been governed by PDP, and Delta contribute a substantial percentage of Nigeria crude and gas reserve, and yet some of the projects that are dear to the economy of this state, like the rest of the South, were ignored by people deceiving people, which they call PDP. Mr. President, I just want to quote what the Olu said, because he's not a politician. He listed all the things you have achieved, including the fact that as we speak, they are dredging the excavators to make it possible for the Warri port to operate maximally. Mr. President, what we had this morning is what pastors call people giving testimony of the miracles that God has used you to transform. So when we say 4 plus 4, we are saying if in 3.5 years, in a state that we did not win, in the South where you didn't get 10%, you have delivered what PDP did not do. When you have 4 plus 4, we can all imagine the wonderful things that will come to this state. And I know that you will not promise what you will not do. I will conclude because I know we are going to another state of mind, another part of Midwest. So no time for long speeches. But we must fulfill why we are here. Yesterday, I was watching the television and I saw the PDP candidate, a former custom officer. He was saying, in the unlikely event that Nigerians made a mistake of their life to vote for him to become president, he said he's telling Nigerians whether they like it or not. In fact, according to him, even if he will die, it will be by God, not by man. That he will sell the oil reserves in Delta State. He will sell the oil reserve in Akwa Ibom State. He will sell the oil facilities in Edo State. Atiku says he will auction all the oil property of Nigerians, whether Nigeria like it or not. When somebody put you on notice that he will sell your family if you vote for him, do you need to think twice whether to reject him or not? And I warn you, when Atiku says he will do it, I worked with them before. When he was vice president, I was president of the Nigeria Labour Congress. And when he decided to sell the Nigeria Airways, there were a lot of contrary opinion in many quarters. In a meeting in my presence, Atiku Abubakar said, I don't care. I just want to sell Nigeria Airways. And he sold it in the manner that he did. Today, Nigeria is battling without a national carrier. But that is not all. Did Atiku ensure that the workers, the pensioners of Nigeria Airways, did he ensure they were paid? No. Who is paying it now? Who has agreed to pay? President Muhammadu Buhari. So they carried the elephant leg, they took it and leave us with a forest that has been bastardized. So Atiku has told us he is going to sell everything. Even unawares, if you are not careful, he will sell it. He had done so before and he will do it again. Number two, Emmanuel Draga, you are here. And that is why when I want to speak, I am only afraid of God, not man. Uduaga, you will recall as governor of Delta State, and in spite of the fact that you were PDP governor, and I was ACN governor, when Atiku, PDP, decided to sell, quote and unquote, or rather more correctly, to take what they call Bini Delta Disco, which covers Delta State, Edo State, Ondo State, and Ekiti State. We, the governors, agreed that if they do this privatization in the manner that PDP wanted to do it, the economy of the South-South will be destroyed. We spoke loud at the National Economic Council. We told Jonathan, don't do it. We told PDP, don't deceive the people. They went ahead. When we called that meeting, Mimiko chickened in. He refused to participate in the press conference. Others refused. Uduaga and I, we agreed that we don't need all the men in the world to be convinced about what is wrong for us to speak against it. And Uduaga and I addressed a press conference in my private residence in Benin to warn that this disco, which is owned by a family, will destroy the economy of our state. Today, are you not having power crisis in Delta State? Even in Edo State, the governor is fighting every day. They took $16 billion, PDP, in the name of power supply. They took the money, they put it in their pocket, and Nigeria remains in the dark. And and they signed an agreement for 20 years, which is difficult to advise. But Mr. President, in your second term, I urge you, sir, with respect, you must pursue the question which you have asked. After $16 billion, Mr. President, you ask, where is the power? Mr. President, you have a duty to man and to God to insist that that question must be answered. It must be answered judiciously. It must be answered in our court of law, and the Nigerian people are entitled to know. I will close by thanking all of you, the people of Delta. You have spoken. Okowa must go. Okowa must go. Ogburu must come. Okowa must go. Ogburu must come. Okowa must go. Ogburu must come. You will sweep and sweep and sweep Okowa away. You will sweep and sweep and sweep Okowa away. And great, we take over Delta State. And Nigeria State will be better for it. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, the Honorable Minister. Thank you, the great people of Delta State. And it is now my honor to invite Your Excellency, the man who has been acknowledged in Washington as a man of truth, fighting corruption, the man who Bishop in UK had admitted is a clean man of integrity. The only president, other African president agreed, is leading the voice against corruption. We, your followers, we have the honor to respectfully invite you to graciously step forward to talk to your people so that that 4 + 4 = 8 will be a reality. The Delta people have spoken, and I believe the South has spoken. Thank you, Mr. President.